Thank you so much, Scoots. Thank you so much to the rest of the panel, and we are ready to start the first North American Major. Henry, it's a bit of an honor, but we do have an awesome game to start off with as well.
We do indeed, and it's quite interesting as Cash as well. The best NIP could have hoped for, I think, in terms of the veto. We're getting straight into it as well. It's going to be NIP starting on the T side here. Actually, all 5 players committed to the A storage as well. They have got 1 smoke grenade. It's going to be a very fast execution coming in any second now.
It's Blade. It's going to be way back toward the truck, so we get to see the revitalization of the T sides from NIP early on. Remember, Threat has done a lot to change this team, and now he's got a first perspective of it because he's joined into the action. And with the dual smokes already out, Bondik's got decent position to watch Forklift, but it forces Blade to get a little bit closer to the action because he has to be there for the take. But as of right now, despite the bomb being in the site, they're going for a late play up middle, and this will pinch Bondik deep in enemy territory. Once that bomb goes down, Get Right and Forrest on the lurk could make this all work out very well for NIP. Great shot from Freiberg to start it off.
There it is. The first kill has come into the Major. Bondik coming in with the retake as well. It's going to be a 3-on-3 situation now, and we can see Bondik's actually made his way to the bomb side as well. Freiberg going very aggressive here. Goes down to the 2-on-2, and now Bondik has all to play for on the bomb side. There's a knife coming in, and somehow gets on top of him. And now Forrest all to play for here in the 2-on-1 situation.
And it works out. Bondik, no kit, but they've got the time. There was one on World Edit. They should be able to, even if they needed to, go grab that. But it's going to work out for Flipside. So the retake game on A, we see that commonly. And you would have thought the difference in play with NIP trying to go up middle might have canceled that out, but they just couldn't find the frags.
It was really interesting from NIP. They got full control of the bomb side there and actually went back for the boost towards middle. Went for that A split. It looked really promising as well, especially getting the opening frags instead of the Freiberg there. But Flipside coming in with, like you said, a nice patient approach from them, going for the full retake, making sure everyone was ready to come into the bomb side there. And they come on top and a little knife kill onto the bomb side as well. That was kind of nuts, but what a round to kick off the Major here as we go into number 2 now. It's looking like NIP getting that bomb down. Won't be force buying this one, of course, waiting for the AK-47s in the third. We can see Flipside adjusting there by, they've got 3 UMPs, 2 rifles here, and it's looking for like a heavy B play from the Ninjas here. All 5 players in towards that storage area. Have got flashbangs as well, waiting for any sort of initial aggression to be coming in, and then using the flashbangs and trying to get yet another plant down.
And it's Get Right and Exist. The closest to the entry point. Shara and Markolov to wait. UMP on either player, both decent armor penetration, but none brought up from NIP, so inconsequential. But Shara is going to try and start this off. Get Right still finds Markolov, but he gets one first. That's Threat to go down, so they get a little bit of information that there's 2 on the site. They go in one at a time, though, and Shara, he's able to turn this all around. Blade gets the last kill, but Shara staying alive and effective in that position.
Yeah, the main objective of that round was purely just to get the bomb down. They went for the heavy B play there, hoping they could find the initial kill with the Tech 9s they had. Didn't really work out that way. Like you said, Shara stepping up and denying the plant as well. So NIP do get guns this round, but it's not as strong as it could have been. An extra $800 going to this one would have been fantastic. But we can see the buy coming in now. They have got 5 rifles. One of them's Gil on Threat, and they've got 4 smoke grenades as flashbangs as well. The thing about NIP is now, as soon as Threat has come into the roster mat, he's actually made them a more well-oiled machine. They actually have the set pieces now, and they have tactics in their playbook they actually bring to the table. Whether they can do that with this current setup, with Threat coming in and the practice being an issue, is yet to be seen. So right now spreading themselves out in a more of a default position. 5 players covering all the key choke points of the map. Got Shara going aggressive into B storage, trying to get some info there. We'll see what kind of play coming in. So far the Ninjas have left the bomb for the T-spawn, seeing if there's any kicks available or they kick things off.
And Markolov going down did upgrade onto the rifle immediately, so we don't have that bonus round we often talk about with the SMG staying alive. He was forced to rebuy early, which is a good opportunity for NIP with this 3rd round buy, but it's Bondik again. We often talk about him being consistent and effective for, I guess, efficient for Flipside. We saw it in the pistol round. He started this off very well. With a minute still left on the clock, Nip have to pull a deficit.
Yeah, this is a perfect start from Flipside. Find that initial kill. Bondik gets it towards the A storage area as well. Thoris is dropped and now to 5-on-4. They still have 2 smoke grenades remaining, but they haven't got any real estate of the map gathered whatsoever. Smoke's going towards mid, but Freiberg and Exist not making any movements just yet. There's the wall of smoke. So Blade has lost his vision, but the man advantage they have right now, they're just going to funnel the terrorists into a bomb site. This holds from there.
And it's passive play as well from Flipside, getting that first pick. No one challenging A main. They go back into the depths of the site, both Bondik and Blade, waiting for a crossfire position on entry. And NIP hoping to find a pick beforehand, but there's 30 seconds left to work with, and they haven't got much real estate. Get Right's going to cross over A main. There's no smoke on it, but that Molotov buys further opportunity for Flipside to just wait this out passively. The flashbang's inconsequential, the fallout afterward, but now Bondit goes for the beat. Get right. Fiber needs to come out and answer this, go for the trade immediately. Thankfully, Threat finds him, and he's on the board. Exist has turned this around. Suddenly, despite the HP being heavily disadvantaged for NIP, they've got the man advantage, and a good lurk from Exist is going to fall Shara.
Bomb will be planted just in time as well. No, it won't be. There it is. It goes down, and Flipside win. 30 seconds remaining when they went to the bomb site. NIP losing those key frags. They salvaged a round. Exist finding 3, but it falls away from them. That's going to be very disappointing. It looked like they had control of the bomb site there. I don't think we saw it getting planted, whether it was in the open or not, but I thought they had more than enough time. I saw Threat on the side with the bomb as well, and they had about 5 seconds remaining, so definitely enough time to plant. Whether they actually did an open plant or went for the safe bet, I'll have to have a look back and see what happened, but there it is. NIP dropped the first gun round after losing that first frag, and we can see the force spy coming in now. Tech9's 1 AK on to Exist and going for that heavy B play once again. We have no orbs yet from Flipside, but the way they're going so far don't really need to change things up too much. So the bomb will be going towards B storage, Get Right holding towards middle. That's a massive round after the way the round went for an IP to drop.
And that force buy to complement that AK that Exist managed to save in mid, but as you mentioned, speaking of that AWP, World Edit, we often call him out saying he's had to step up with this team. He has as of late. So when that AWP comes out, he's going to be the man to watch. Shara will go down. Get Right overwhelms. Good use of Molotovs to force him out from the checker room, although it's a 1-for-1 trade. It's good for NIP considering the situation with economy, and now they could slow this down considerably.
Yeah, I don't mind the force back towards NIP. Obviously went down to a 1-on-1 in the last round and came down, took a lot of cash off the CT. If they were to win this, it would absolutely wreck them. So they are bringing it down to a 4-on-4 now. Still have a minute to play as well. They have got the smoke grenade, so here comes that mid play once again. The smokes come down, taking the vision away from Blade, and he actually finds one through the smoke as well. Freiberg's dropped. That's got to be frustrating for him, and that gives the man advantage back towards Flipside here. 4-on-3, and then once again, NIP don't really have much to work with. Forrest is lurking out towards middle, and Forrest is the man with the rifle as well, so he's trying to find a pick, but very disciplined play from Flipside here. Falling back to the bomb sides, making that timer just tick down once again.
So still that rifle up though. Forrest able to recover it. 2 smokes, 4 flashes. 4 opponents to try and find quickly. One will go through the window, the skylight. That's going to cover off Markelov, but he gets his vision back in time, and suddenly the rifles fall, and Get Right's picked up an M4. But without his partner on the AK, without Forrest still alive, there's not much he can do with it. World Edit is going to put case in point to that takedown threat as well.
Yeah, so far so good for Flipside. 4-0 for them. Finding that first pick once again. It's going very into a very passive setup there and making NIP work for it. And with the little buy they had, couldn't really work on the picks. Forrest tried to do what he could through middle, but splitting towards B, lost that initial entry frag once again, and it's very clean for Flipside so far. Is this a pause coming in? So I assume this is technical. It's actually from Flipside.
Yeah, it's from Flipside's perspective. Just to note as well, we saw the bomb plant early on, which allowed the first gun round to be planted. Somewhere it's a 4-round loss bonus accumulated. Unfortunately, without the plant, they're still in a position where they're a little bit strapped for cash on NIP's side. So it's likely, I would like to see, I mean, they could force Tech9s again, but I would like to see them stay away from the rifles.
For sure. They want to make sure they get an AWP on Forest next round. They're going to go to that classic play going into the next one. They want to make sure they go for an execution. Obviously, we talk about Threat not really having the practice with the team so far. I'm very interested to see how he's going to fit into the roles here. If you don't have the practice, obviously he knows all the theory and knows what every role of the player is, but putting it into practice is a different thing. He's got to be calling now, playing, and trying to work out all the set pieces and the role that Pitt brought to the team.
Well, the one thing that I will say, and then Flaren kind of touched on this, is they haven't put Pith in a position where he's a high-impact player as of yet.
Sure.
He's definitely had better games lately. I think at Katowice as well, he showed up in the group stages finally in a LAN environment, finally gave NIP something to be hopeful for. But at least it is a role. It's not like it's Get Right he's stepping in for. It's not like it's Forrest where he has to go to the AWP and have that high impact. There's still a chance, but you're right. It does put more pressure on him calling.
Just in terms of like his role within the team going into this one, he's been out of the game calling, looking at every single thing, and now he's going to just be on his screen. Obviously, he can still call. It's not a problem for him. I'm sure he's had experience in that role before, but still going into this one and having to fill the shoes of Pitt, and like obviously you don't want to move too much around here, especially when you haven't practiced as well. He wants to just be kind of slotting into the team. But I still think they're a very strong contender in this group, but so far it's not looking too hot for them after losing that pistol. It has been some very close rounds here, losing on the timer in that first force by there. Going to be a little bit frustrating going into it, but still very early days. I think the pause has just finished as well, so getting back into it was a small technical issue for Flipside. But here we go. Have a look at the buy coming in for an IP. It's going to be PT50s and smoke grenades. This will be an A attack, Matt. This will be full wall of smokes onto the A bomb site. Try and get that plan once again and get the extra $800 and potentially could win the round if you can find the initial entry frags there, but it's very unlikely with the P250s. We'll see what they can do here.
Thankfully, 2 rounds ago, it did, in that time situation, come to a one-on-one, which does mean that the economy's not been growing substantially for Flipside. So there's still a chance to get back into this game with 1 or 2 quick rounds in succession. Again, avoiding a reset would help that tremendously, but That won't come until potentially the next round unless these P250s can be explosive as they hoped. You said A was going to be the intention. The smokes did go out there, but it's all a distraction play right now because they're still setting up otherwise.
I think they're just trying to bleed out the CTs all they can here. Try and get rid of those initial grenades. They have got armor to go with the P250s, more of a quasi-buy here, but trying to get rid of the grenade potential. Going to be smoking towards highway. The flashpoints will come out, and here comes the play.
Bondic seeing that door opening, puts the Molotov in front of him immediately. World Edit finds Get Right through smoke, but he found at least Blade beforehand. Threat gets the response. It's a 1-for-1 shot. It's World Edit that comes over late. Needs to be careful in the repeak. It goes down to 17 HP with that AK. And thankfully for NIP this time, a full bomb play. Good play from Freiberg up on top of the forklift. He spots one above it. He's going to get World Edit as well. Suddenly, the round is in NIP's hands. It's Shara, 23 HP versus Threat with even less. It's only 2, but it's a P250. It's viable, and he hears him. He hears him going toward this. He's got it perfectly done, and welcome to the NIP party, Threat. You've got your clutch.
That's kind of interesting from Flipside. He seemed so convinced that player was towards A main. Like, quad wasn't even a possibility for him. It was a very easy clutch for Threat to win in the end, and there it is. The A play comes in. They bait out the grenades at the start of the round with those fake smokes coming into it. The CTs take the bait and use everything they had at the start, and then NIP coming in as Get Right to open things up with a P250. If you do find that initial kill, all of a sudden the A side becomes a very difficult prospect to retake, and then Freiberg stepping up massively there. We saw him in the video. He wants to prove himself at this event, and that's a massive round for them to get back into this. So, but like you said, Flipside money isn't fantastic now. After losing one round, they're back onto the Famises, one kit, and a distinct lack of grenades as well. So the heavy B play coming from NIP. I'll be interested to see whether they go for a full set piece here or just going to be walking more contact style.
Shara dropping down off heaven, having seen the smoke. He does get the first one on Freiberg. No one in a great position to respond, but the Molotov's going to hold him. He wants back through it. It's 13 HP, and he goes through at the right time because they were pushing and pursuing. Gives Markelov a chance to try and cover him, but Forrest finds Shara far too quickly.
A very simple play coming from up here. That could be control as well. Markelov is being backed up by World Edit, but still the lack of firepower is going to be a problem. Markelov is the first player to drop as well. Get Right finds him. Now World Edit, can he step up?
He's trying to dart around this. We saw Molotov from Forrest on the bank. That buys more time that they don't need to watch the flank. They can put more effort to walking into the site, but World Edit dropping Threat also drops the bomb, and now Bondic has position to cover it off. Get Right gets caught. A minute to work with. They can slow this down in IP, but it's just Forrest remaining, and that gives away his position entirely, but it brings it back to the one-on-one. Bondic drops his smoke out, tries to fake it for the flash. Doesn't peek immediately after, and Bondic, knowing the situation, does consider the possibility that Forrest could rotate back over. However, with that bomb on the site, Forrest is instead just going to sit in position and wait for him to enter. He's going to use time in his advantage.
Yeah, this is where the mind games begin. He still has 30 seconds as well. Bondic has lost all the information he gathered now. He has no idea whether Forrest has made his way towards CT spawn, whether he's holding that B site. So far it's the latter. He's just going to be holding on and seeing if the CT does face for information. Is Bondic going towards that vent area as well?
And this is the thing. Bondic's going to this vent area right now because he wanted to cut him off in middle, but he can't drop out of this vent area in case he got by because it lengthens his rotation. And interestingly, he is going to go for it because with 12 seconds, he's got to take the gamble, and now he'll know it's on to be. And Forrest won't get good post-plant positioning out of this, but he will get the headshot. Bondic immediately down.
That was very impressive from Forrest. Great awareness from him and a lovely shot to finish things off there. The thing from NIP as well, when they found those initial kills on the bomb site, they were very sloppy at getting onto the bomb site. You saw Get Right is jumping through and is hoping no one was towards upper. They had a minute remaining on the clock now. They could have slowed that right down, used that man advantage correctly, and made that a very simple round. But Forrest did step up in the 1v1 situation. Great play from him. Very patient, very controlled, held strong on the site and landed a lovely shot. It's a massive round to win as well. You can see Flipside now pretty much on a full eco. Just P250s and a USP on Markelov. So this will be a nightmare situation for NIP to lose this. You can see them adjusting accordingly as well. Mac 10s and an MP7, they can be the reconnaissance players going in first, looking for the stacks. And if you drop one of those guns back, it's not a huge deal against armor. They're not massively effective, especially if you keep things long range and allow their AKs to do the work. So more of a default player from NIP. They're spreading themselves out across the map, seeing if there is any sort of aggression coming in from Flipside, but so far, all good.
It's a little bit different in Flipside's approach, that they've got 2 in the B site, 1 in the vents. So a bit of a B bias.
Well, mid has been a heavy area of contention so far for NIP. They've been putting the smokes down, trying to gain that intel and taking it away from Blade, but you can see Bondic's there, ready to back him up if that does come in. They don't really have anything to work with, just some PT50s. If they manage to get a couple of kills there, or save an AK, that'd be amazing, but that's pretty much all they can hope for here. It's looking like another B play coming in from the Ninjas here. But there are maybe 3 players outside of the map. Get Right could get caught out here.
Well, all the smokes in mid indicates they might go toward the vents, but they haven't gone. They've gone all toward the B main position, and Shara and Bondic are shutting that down early. There's still 51 seconds, and yet NIP is still committing to these peaks as well, and there's a full rotation coming over. World Edit's just going to watch middle, but It's a bit more of a B bias again, and more of a stack inside the side, and Forrest is going to put himself in the open. Watch behind again. Where's the peak? Where's the refrag? It's wanting to take one. Pops out, and Exist will at least turn that around and get Blade. But 2 players left, and that is all. In this situation, that's a bit abysmal.
That was crazy. I'm surprised they even got away with that. They walked on that player by the bottom. That was it. It looks like World X will be the last one remaining. Exist does deal with him, but that was too close for an IP there. Like I said, had lots of time to play with. Didn't really have to lose that many frags going into it. There was lots of 1-on-X situations.